What's up, guys? I'm back this week with another episode. Tonight's episode is all about the nostalgia that we have with our childhood trips to amusement parks. Me and my guests tonight are talking about our favorite trips to amusement parks, favorite rides, and there's a little bit of trivia in here. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, and let's go see our favorite memories about amusement parks. Welcome back, Nostalgia Nerds! Tonight is an amazing episode with my good friend Alex Kloss. We will be talking all about childhood memories of piling up in the cars and heading off to the fairgrounds or taking those hours to get to one city just to go to your favorite amusement park. But before we get into that, Alex, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit to the audience?
Hi, I'm Alex Claus. I'm from Muscatine, Iowa, a little industrial town about 3 hours outside of Chicago. A big amusement park nerd my entire life. Anything from locally to Disney, and it's a thrill to be here.
Alrighty, well, like I said, tonight is all about reliving those childhood experiences at the amusement parks. I don't know if it was like this for you as a child, but every summer in Fargo, North Dakota, there is a big fair called the Red River Valley Fair, and it's like our county fair because we are the county seat, and people from all over Cass County just flock to Fargo for a week. And we have just rides, fair food, grandstand entertainment, and Friday nights is always the races because it is held in like the parking lot of our speedway. Unfortunately, we didn't have it this last year because something called a pandemic hit and we couldn't do anything. But this is a good segue into tonight's topic. What amusement parks have you been to, and which one has been your favorite?
Let's see. Growing up, the main amusement park we always hit was one up by Des Moines called Adventureland. A little smaller one, only a handful of roller coasters and a lot of kiddie rides, but that's my earliest amusement park memories. I've been to most of the Disney parks except for Animal Kingdom, which I definitely want to hit someday. Both Universals, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, Cedar Point, and a handful of Six Flags are ones I could think of off the top. Oh, and then the one you mentioned Branson earlier, Silver Dollar City as well.
Nice. And which one of those would you say is your favorite that you've been to?
Ooh. Probably Islands of Adventure, the one of the Universal ones. A lot of fun roller coasters and thrill rides. Plus also Harry Potter World as well now, which big Harry Potter fan. Definitely big geek out trip last time I was there.
Well, you have definitely been to a lot more amusement parks than I have been to. The only ones that I can think of were obviously, the county fair that we have in Fargo every year. Brainerd, Minnesota, I know, has their county fair there. And I think I've been to the Polk County Fair in Minnesota. So I've been to a bunch of county fairs. And then Valley Fair was a really big one down in Shakopee, Minnesota. Growing up, we'd spend 5 hours after school on a Friday, if it was during the school year, drive pretty much almost all night to get there, and then spend like all day Saturday and half the day Sunday at Valley Fair and the Mall of America. And then I was finally able to go to Universal Hollywood when I was 18 years old, which is great. And then most recently I've been to Cedar Point and I've been to Coney Island here in New York, which if you want like a good, nice, old-fashioned boardwalk type feel, Coney Island in New York is a place to go, as well as the Santa Monica Pier. It has a name. I don't remember the name.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Coney Island's definitely on my list to hit someday if I ever get around to New York. I've yet to reach that part of the country, but
yeah, it's definitely fun. My top two, it's a tie between Cedar Point and Coney Island. So for me, the next question is a very exciting one that can probably dive down deep into our childhood memories here on what is your favorite ride at any amusement park that you've been to?
Ooh.
This is a tough question, isn't it?
That is a tough one. I'm gonna say Disney, Magic Kingdom, probably Space Mountain.
Yeah.
It was my first roller coaster, and honestly, it's kind of a gentle one, but just that excitement, all those hills, twists, turns, and it's all in the dark. Just stands out so well. Or possibly also another Disney one I love, and I'm so sad they're taking it down, Splash Mountain. Just all that color and vibrancy, and
technically they're not taking down Splash Mountain, they're just revamping it to the Princess and the Frog.
But still sad. It's a big part of my childhood, but probably between those two. One kind of in Space Mountain for introducing me to basically the first thrill ride I really vividly remember, and then Splash Mountain, just such a vivid. It's the epitome of Disney for me. How about you?
I am so glad that you turned that around on me. I was trying to think all throughout you explaining yours. I definitely have two favorite rides. My first favorite ride is back in Valley Fair. So Valley Fair is widely known for their big green monster of a roller coaster called Wild Thing.
Mm-hmm.
And before you go on the Wild Thing as a kid, you know, every kid wants to go on it because all their siblings are going on it, their family members are going on it. Well, in the kiddie section of the park, it's still called this, I know for a fact, because the last time I was at Valley Fair, just a few years ago, I went to the kiddie section, and the Mild Thing is still there. It is a smaller version of Wild Thing.
That's adorable.
It is, and my cousins and I, up until we were like, well, I know I could only go on it until I was 8 because I ended up being like, I grew really fast. So, you know, when I was 8, my cousins were still going on all the kiddie rides at Valley Fair, and I was too big and I had to start going on the adult rides. So that I first rode Wild Thing when I was 8 years old, which was awesome. Rain pelting in my face. I don't recommend that. But no, Mild Thing into the Wild Thing is definitely my first favorite ride, just because those were like my first big amusement thrill rides. And then my second favorite ride is located right here in New York City. It is called the Cyclone, down on Coney Island.
It's a big one, right?
It is Luna Park's biggest attraction, because how Coney Island is set up is you have Luna Park, and you have Dino's amusement park, Wonder Wheel amusement park, and Dino's is their big focus is their giant ass Ferris wheel called the Wonder Wheel. And Luna Park is well known for they kind of encompassed the old Dreamland that was originally on Coney Island and got all those rides, which includes the Cyclone. And that's a ride that like everybody will just, they'll get wristbands, like unlimited wristbands, and just ride it over and over and over. And I know because I did it multiple times in one night.
That's awesome.
So yeah, those are my favorite amusement park rides. So in this section, I asked Alex a bunch of trivia questions, which I know everybody will have fun trying to figure it out. I challenge you to try and answer them to your own knowledge and not look these up, which obviously, had Alex looked them up as we were doing the interview, he would have gotten more right. But leave a comment down below on how many that you got right off the top of your head and see how well Alex did. Before we move on to other questions, though, I have trivia for you. There are four trivia questions that I'm going to ask you. Yes, there are 4 trivia questions that I'm going to ask you that all relate to roller coasters and fairs just in general. The first trivia question that I have for you is, do you know the oldest roller coaster in the US?
No.
You don't. Okay. I figured you didn't. I figured you didn't know this one. So the oldest roller coaster in the United States is Leap the Dips, located in Lakemont Park in Altoona, Pennsylvania. It opened in 1902 and has been running ever since. Minor
Oh, wow.
changes, yep, minor changes have been made to it just to keep up with maintenance over the years, but it is still technically the oldest roller coaster in the United States.
That's crazy.
Yep. Next trivia question that I have for you is, according to Trip Savvy, what are at least 2 of the 12 roller coasters that you have to ride in the US?
Is Top Thrill Dragster one of them?
No, it is not.
Oh.
There's a similar one to Top Thrill that is on that list, but Top Thrill did not make the list.
Is it the other Cedar Point one? I think it's called like Screaming Eagle or.
There is a Cedar Point one on here, but it's not called the Screaming Eagle. It's a tough one. I know there are like 12 different roller coasters that you can pick, but there's just hundreds of them in the U.S.
I'm honestly stumped again.
Well, I mean, I have mentioned one of them already while talking to
Oh,
you.
the Cyclone.
Yep, Cyclone at Coney Island in New York is on there. That is number 8. It's ranked 8th in the top 12 that you have to ride.
Any Disney ones on there?
Nope, there's no Disney ones on here, but there is a Universal ride on here. And it is a newer Universal ride, just opened up within the last few years.
Right of the Hippogriff?
No, close.
No.
Close. It is a
Like-
Harry Potter ride.
I would guess maybe the Dueling Dragons, but I think that closed down, right?
It did, but it was replaced with the one that is on this list.
Oh. I'm honestly not sure then. Because last time I was there, Dueling Dragons was still open. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
You're drawing a blank? Well, you got one of them, which is pretty good. The top 12 roller coasters in the US that you have to ride, according to Trip Savvy, is Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California.
Okay.
Number 2 is Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England in Massachusetts.
Getting on that one. Well, the Chicago one, but.
Number 3 is El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 is King Ka, also at Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey, which is the one that I was hinting at that was similar to Top Thrill Dragster.
Okay.
Number 5 is our Cedar Point one, which is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Number 6 is X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California. Number 7 is Lightning Rod at Dollywood in Tennessee. Number 8, obviously, the Cyclone in New York, Coney Island. Number 9 was Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at Universal Orlando in Florida. Number 10 is the Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City in Missouri. Number 11 is the Comet at Great Escape here in New York. And number 12 is the Jackrabbit at Kennywood Amusement Park in Pennsylvania. So those are the top 12 roller coasters that you have to ride in the US according to Trip Savvy. One of the last 2 questions for the trivia round that I am giving you is, what is the fastest roller coaster in the US?
I believe that one is the Top Thrill Dragster.
No, it is not. Top
Not
Thrill
that,
Drags.
It's not that, like, King Ka one you mentioned?
It
earlier?
is. It is
Okay.
King Ka. When Top Thrill Dragster was built 3 years prior to King Ka, it was, at the time, the fastest roller coaster in the US, reaching at 100 miles an hour. King Ka, 3 years later, broke that record when it opened at Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey and clocked in at a whopping 128 miles per hour.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's
All within, as we know, with Top Thrill Dragster,
about
it is
90
about
seconds.
30 to 90 seconds that you go that fast. And our last trivia question of the day is, according to Spoon University, What is the most famous fair food?
Funnel cake.
No. Funnel cake was on that list, but the most famous fair food, according to Spoon University, is deep fried Oreos.
Really?
Yep, and I will
I've
defend
actually
that.
had a deep fried Oreo.
Deep fried Oreos are amazing. I highly recommend you try it whenever you go to an amusement park next.
I will do that. Sure.
Alrighty. So, our last question of the night is what is your favorite childhood memory from an amusement park?
Okay. It's relatively simple, but it's sticking out for some reason. Back when I was probably about third, fourth grade, we would go to like Orlando every year. Sometimes at the park, sometimes not. Just basically be vacationers. One year, our family decided to splurge a little bit and make it a full-on Disney vacation. We stayed at a Disney hotel. We got full week park hopper passes, fast passes. Just such a fun little it felt like a true Disney experience, and was such a Disney nerd. It was I think we even did like a couple of character meals. It's just really cool. It's kind of a general vacation experience, but it's just something that really stands out as a.
Well, yeah, it was like the first time you truly experienced Disney, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I know like a lot of people have that experience. You know, I can't talk because, you know, I've never been to Disney, but that's just like, I feel like it stands out because it was the first time that you actually got to experience like a full-on like amusement park vacation.
Yeah.
My favorite childhood memory from amusement parks. Every year, my family, when I was a child, every summer, my mom, my stepfather, my grandma, my grandpa, and my aunt and uncle, they'd all take a weekend off of work. And as I said, you know, Valley Fair was like 5 hours away from us. There's a campground near Valley Fair, and I remember this. We took, I think it was my uncle's trailer. I think my uncle and my grandpa had a trailer. They each had a camper trailer, and we brought both of them to the campground at Valley Fair. We camped there that Friday night after we got there and everything, because it was just like, it was easy because there was literally a road leading from the campground to the parking lot in Valley Fair, which I don't even know how I'm remembering this now because it's been so long. I was like, you know, 6 or 7 when this happened, but we camped overnight, and then the next morning we, you know, right when the park opened, we went in there, you know, and got big family pictures when you go into the main entrance by the fountains. And I remember that one because not only was it the very first time that I rode the Wild Thing, which I was putting it off all day. But my mom finally dragged me on it after a thunderstorm had hit, and obviously when thunderstorms hit, you know, big mega coasters like that get shut down because of lightning.
Oh, yeah.
But after we ate in the saloon, it was up and running. Mom's like, okay, we either go now or we're not going on it at all, and your brother's gonna make fun of you because that's who my brother is.
You're not a good brother if you don't make fun of your
younger sibling, yeah. So
in general, so
yep, so I just, you know, I was like, all right. So I hopped on it with my mom, and we're going up the lift hill, and it's a mile in the air, you know. Wild Thing goes a mile in the air, and then, you know, you go down. But the minute we went over the drop, just a bunch of rain just pelted us in the face, and it felt like ice hitting us in the face. It was horrible. But that was also the first time that I rode one of my favorite rides at Valley Fair, which is Excalibur. And it's like, how Valley Fair is set up though is like, it's like one big loop where if you go one way, you hit Wild Thing first, then Excalibur, then Renegade, then High Roller, then Corkscrew, and then you're done. And obviously Steel Venom is in there, but I don't count Steel Venom as a ride at Valley Fair. I never will, because I'll never go on it. But I usually do the opposite way. So like I go Corkscrew, High Roller, Renegade, Excalibur, And then the last ride that I hit is Wild Thing. And Excalibur is just amazing. And it probably has to do with my love of, medieval
Arthur?
dragons, King Arthur, knights, all that. But, it was just a good childhood memory of mine. And I'll never forget this because my brother always told the story of his first time riding Wild Thing. Our grandfather unbuckled him on the lift hill.
Oh, that's evil.
And the first time I rode Excalibur was with my grandfather.
He unbuckled you, didn't you?
Yeah, he did. I was freaking out, but thankfully at the last second I got it clicked back in and held on for dear life. Yeah, my grandpa is evil like that when it comes to amusement parks, but he's always fun to go
like
with.
him already. We should exchange notes on how to torment people.
Yes. Well, Alex, I thank you again for joining me in this quick little interview about amusement parks, and I had genuine fun talking about different amusement parks that we've been to.
It's my pleasure, Thomas.
I hope to have you on here again. So thank you again, Nostalgia Nerds, and tune in next week for another episode.